Dear Bearing Point,
I'm writing to pass along my feedback on your folks.
You helped us turn our own people into risk management experts.
This now saves us from significant financial losses.
4,000 branches, 40 countries,
52 distinct technology projects,
and one amazingly calm Bearing Point team.
Thanks for making me look good.
Results. It's why we wake up in the morning. It's why our clients sleep well at night. Find out how Bearing Point's management and technology consultants can help you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Vito. I'm the publisher of Government Executive, and on behalf of my colleagues, particularly Shane Harris, I want to thank you all for being here this morning. I know you'll enjoy the discussion and the content. This is the second, I believe, in our series on the intelligence community. So be on the watch for the next one, which is going to be later in the fall. In fact, I was doing a quick count. This is our 20th breakfast, or I think even that includes some of the lunches. This is our 20th meal that we've had this year, these executive leadership events. And we very much enjoy doing it, and certainly based on the turnout that we get, I know you all enjoy being here. One of the drivers of the content that we put up is the comment sheet. So at each of your chairs this morning, you received a little comment, and please let us know what you think. Let us know about topics that you'd like to hear done. Also, you'll see a subscription to Government Executive magazine, and if you are not a subscriber, we certainly hope that you would become one. Today's breakfast, like all of these, could not happen unless we had the support of vendors, contractors in the community who also are believers in getting the word out. And today we have two, Bearing Point and Cisco. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about these two companies, even though I would be shocked if you weren't probably already familiar with them. But in any event, Bearing Point believes that the information sharing mantra of the last 5 years has given way to a new paradigm, information access. Achieving the next level of sharing and access will require the concerted efforts of information producers, stewards, and constituents. Bearing Point's intelligent consultants have a deep understanding of the needs of the intelligence community. Today we have Vincent Dennis and Lauren Rosenbaum here from Bearing Point. Cisco, most of you already know that Cisco is the worldwide leader in networking, and now they are using that expertise to offer solutions in collaboration and information sharing, information security, and high-definition video conferencing. And today we have Wayne Fullerton and John Sano from Cisco. So please join me with a round of applause thanking these two terrific companies. With that, I am now going to turn the program over to my friend Shane Harris. Shane?
Great. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here this morning. My name is Shane Harris. I am the Intelligence and Homeland Security correspondent at our sister publication, National Journal, and I also write a column on the intelligence community for Government Executive, where I was the technology editor for 5 years. So I'm always pleased to moderate these panels and to be back with my colleagues. The topic, of course, for discussion this morning is information sharing, which I think has probably taken on something of a mantra-like status in the past 6 years, and is certainly a topic that I'm sure everyone here in this room has some familiarity with in one way or another in your jobs. As we were preparing for, or as I was preparing for the discussion this morning, I was just trying to sort of think back to when the concept itself, or even the term as a term of art, really first became apparent to me. And it was at Government Executive shortly after the 9/11 attacks, when I was writing about information technology systems and processes in the federal government. And of course, one of the first things that became evident after the attacks was that there was an information sharing component, or lack thereof, really in the lead up to those events. We sort of learned rather quickly that there were key pieces of the plot that were residing, obviously, as we all know now, in various agencies and various people's hands, and that the systems and the procedures and, really importantly, the policies and the cultures in many instances were not really in place to truly fuse those things and bring them together as we would certainly like them to have been. With that, then, we launch on this now sort of narrative of information sharing in the federal government. And what we want to do today is sort of get a sense of the state of play, how far government has come, where things are now, and where really agencies are going. And I can really think of very few other people than the two folks we have with us today who can really give us a deep insight into that. Both these individuals either are serving or have served in positions that were created as a response to the need for more information sharing after 9/11 as part of intelligence and homeland security reforms. And so I really think that we're going to have a fruitful discussion here, and I encourage you to have some questions ready at the end of the panel discussion here to pose to our panelists. Let me just read from some of their highlights from their lengthy biographies here, and I'm going to start with Ambassador Thomas McNamara here to my left. Ambassador McNamara is the program manager of the information sharing environment. This was established by the Intelligence and Terrorism Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act of 2004, also known as the Intelligence Reform Act. Ambassador McNamara has an extensive background in national security matters, political military affairs, counterterrorism, and counter-narcotics. He is a career diplomat who has served 8 presidents over the past 4 decades. He originally retired from government service in 1998, after which he spent 3 years as the president and the CEO of the Americas Society and the Council of the Americas in New York. Following the attacks of 9/11, Ambassador McNamara was asked to return to government service as the senior advisor for counterterrorism and homeland security at the Department of State until 2004. During his government career, he has held many senior positions in the Department of State and on the National Security Council. In the 1980s, he was the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, NSC Director, and Ambassador to Colombia. Upon his return from Colombia in 1991, he served President George H.W. Bush as Special Assistant for National Security Affairs before returning to State as Ambassador at Large for Counterterrorism and Assistant Secretary of State for Political Military Affairs. And in 1998, he was appointed the Special Negotiator for Panama. Most recently, Ambassador McNamara has been the adjunct professor in the Elliott School of International Affairs at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and I'm pleased to welcome him today. Our second panelist is Donna Brusella. In 2003, she was appointed by the Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the President as the Director of the United States Terrorist Screening Center, or the TSC, where she developed and executed a strategy creating a new multi-government center responsible for maintaining the government's consolidated terrorist watch list to combat terrorism worldwide. She recruited, developed, and led a team from throughout the United States government and the private sector, and directed an integrated approach to terrorist screening by coordinating law enforcement, the intelligence community, embassies worldwide, and foreign governments for the first time in the nation's history. Prior to the TSC, in November 2002, she was asked to help start up the new Transportation Security Administration created after 9/11 to secure the country's transportation sector. She was also the United States Attorney in the Middle District of Florida before that, and is a colonel in the Army Reserve's Judge Advocates General Corps. And presently, Donna is the Vice President of Perot Systems Government Services, responsible for the company's Homeland Security strategy. And thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Well, to start, Ambassador McNamara, I want to throw a question to you to sort of help set the stage for a discussion on information sharing. I'd like you to help our audience understand what exactly is the information sharing environment of which you are the program manager. Tell us a bit about how that came to be, what its role is, and specifically what your responsibilities are in that regard.
Dear Bearing Point,
I'm writing to pass along my feedback on your folks.
you helped us turn our own people into risk management experts.
This now saves us from significant financial losses.
4,000 branches, 40 countries.
52 distinct technology projects.
And one amazingly calm Bearing Point team.
Thanks for making me look good.
Results. It's why we wake up in the morning. It's why our clients sleep well at night. Find out how Bearing Point's management and technology consultants can help you.